Yo, 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 what is up, everybody? Welcome to the KillJoy Jake YouTube channel. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for talking a little horror with us on this wonderful hump day. Ladies and gentlemen, it is an exciting week for horror. So much fun stuff has been happening. If it's all these updates we've gotten with the new Scream movie coming out in February of next year, we've gotten a ton of updates and even a really exciting new release tomorrow on Hell House 5, Hell House Lineage. So there is a lot to talk about. We have a general stream here today, ladies and gentlemen, so we can talk about just about anything. But I do want to ask you guys, it's back to school season. Many people went back to school today. Let me know if you're in school and what you're doing. If you have a major in college, perhaps, or maybe you're going back to high school, senior year of high school. I don't know what you're doing, but let us know down in the comments. I'm curious. I have a friend who's a teacher, shout out to Marissa, who's teaching, I believe, first grade this year. And I know she was really nervous about going back to the starting the school year. So I'm sure teachers and students alike possibly getting nervous. For those who don't know, I wanted to be a teacher myself before all of this crazy shit. So I always like to hear about what's going on in academia. So anyways, let's get into this. We have official Mig on Tiv saying, yo, Jake, how are you? I'm fantastic. When there's horror news, Jake is bumping. Jake is thriving. So life is good. I'm very happy to report all of this very fun stuff. Let me tell you. Cinepixel also hanging out with us saying my excitement for your stream is as much as my hype for Final Destination 7, which is a lot. Wow, that's awesome, Cinepixel. I can't believe my streams are as hyped up as that. I mean, shit. I'm honored. Thank you so much. Dude, I'm excited for it too. All this news about it lately has been very exciting. I've been trying to get a Final Destination 7 video out, but there's just been so much news. I just can't. I can't make it happen. But it's coming. I'm working on one. I have half a script done for a Final Destination 7 video. Coming soon. Richard J. Skarenki. Full name and everything. What's the J stand for? John? Richard Jeremy Skarenki? I don't know. I'm not sure. Saying Scream 7 news coming in by the day. Very exciting stuff to talk about for sure, my friend. A really interesting update today, which I'm making a video about tomorrow morning, but it's kind of a conflicting report, which I think is interesting. Two things are being said about Scream 7 that conflict. Two of our major updates now go against each other. So who knows what the fuck who knows what to expect in Scream 7 anymore. We're going to break it down a little bit tomorrow. I'm sure we'll get into it today a little bit about gory kills or no gory kills. What will it be? We're getting reports on both ends, and I think it's interesting. But I want to make a whole video about it tomorrow and what I think all of this madness and clashing actually means. Mr. Rick, before the stream even went live, I got to say this. This is awesome. This is how great of a community we have here. Mr. Rick became an Art the Clown member on our stream, waiting for the stream to start, and even sent out a KillJoy Jake membership. Dude, thank you so much, man. You guys, I don't know if you guys know this or not, but the membership program makes my life a lot easier. And I greatly appreciate it whenever anyone's able to do that. Basically, if one person becomes a member on stream, it makes all of this a lot easier for me. You know, things are tough. We just moved into a new apartment, so whenever we have members join the page, it's a really big thing. So, Mr. Rick, I greatly appreciate that. Thank you for the support here, my friend, and welcome to the fold again, Samantha Robinson. Look at that, very nice. Membership program's pretty damn sick. We do exclusive weekly reviews and some other really fun little perks there too. You get to vote in some secret polls that I throw out every now and then. But yes, again, thank you so much for the support, Mr. Rick, and I'm really excited for you to see some of our exclusive videos coming up. This week we're covering Jimmy and Stiggs, a movie that I have so many opinions on, so many different opinions on, and my God, I have a million things to say about it. I don't want to take the full reviews coming on Friday, but man, I'm excited for you guys to see it. Gory Tiger's hanging out with us saying, what's up, my friend? Welcome in, welcome in. Paul Bradley saying, how's everyone doing today? Fucking fantastic. How are you guys doing? Let us know. Let us know. Let us know. King Matthew III, what's up, dude? Again, congratulations about everything that you told us on stream last night. I don't know if you want to share that here too. I know last night's stream was a little more personal, but dude, again, like, congratulations. That is just, all of this is so awesome. Okay, you're sharing it. Let's talk about this. I want to highlight this. This is so exciting. You're saying, I just finished setting up my wedding for next month. Me and my fiance have decided to go to the Bahamas for our wedding. Oh my God, that's awesome. And we're going to be in the Bahamas for our honeymoon. So you're getting married like at the honeymoon, basically. That's like amazing. That's like the best idea ever. That's awesome, dude. You brought up some news the other day that, again, if you don't want to put that out there again. It's no worries at all. I know this is going to be a bigger stream than last night. But if you do want to put that news out there, my friend, again, congratulations. I'm so happy for you. It sounds like a lot of exciting things are happening in your life. And I'm just so happy for you, my friend. That's so wonderful. So wonderful to hear all of these great things happening to great people. Michael C is also with us saying, hi, Jake. Hello, Michael. How are you? Welcome in. Welcome in. Thanks for being here. Oh, and this is really exciting. I'm glad someone brought this up too. Let me introduce myself. I'm Joe Grizzly bitch. What's up, Joe Grizzly? Saying a Halloween announcement is happening around 4:15. We will be live when a big announcement in the Halloween franchise is coming out, ladies and gentlemen. So, by the way, I'm going to have my one account just open, ready to go here, just for when that happens, when that time gets close. We're gonna have a live report about something happening in the Halloween franchise at 4:15, which is approximately an hour from right now. I'm really excited to get into it. It's gonna be, I don't know what this is, but it's something, potentially something revolving around the Halloween TV show, but I guess we'll know more in a little over an hour. We're gonna find out. I'm excited. Hey, Mr. Rick also throwing a $2 super chat out there, dude. Thank you for kicking off our super chat goal. Appreciate it a ton. Saying Scream 7 is going to be game changing for the best. God, I hope so, man. We're hearing some really exciting things about it lately. And I just hope it's a banger. From what I know, from what I'm willing to share about my behind the scenes knowledge, is that I think it's going to feel a lot like 4 and 6 mixed together. That's kind of what a lot of the things I've heard. It feels very much like Scream 4 and Scream 6, toss it into a blender. And I think if there's anything I'm hoping for in that case is that it's essentially the innovativeness of Scream 6 with the back to basics feel of something like Scream 4. I feel like if you can find a perfect marriage of those two things, you're going to have a hit on your hands with Scream 7. And I really hope it's that. I hope it's like kind of like the best of both worlds when it comes to Scream, a franchise that has gone through a lot of different little eras. And different themes, motifs, ideas, a bunch of bullshit happening in this franchise. I hope it is. I hope it's a game changer. I really hope it is. That would be awesome, dude. It would be so cool, the story of this film, going from like absolute zero, like just a production disaster, to being one of the best sequels. I mean, it would be one of the coolest stories I've ever covered on this page, without a doubt. No doubt in my mind. That would be awesome. But Mr. Rick, thank you for the $2. Let's hope Scream 7 fucking rocks. Would love to see that. Kyle Gordon is hanging out with us saying, good afternoon, Jake. So excited for the new Hell House, and so excited for Scream 7, the new updates today. Yes. I'm excited to talk about those updates, although they kind of frustrate me a little bit. They frustrate me in a good way, though. Frustrating in a good way. It's hard to explain, but we have Kevin Williamson's interview coming out from this new book that's been released. A whole going through the definitive history of the Scream franchise, essentially. But he's talked a little bit about ending the Sidney Prescott story with Scream 7. Whatever, love that or hate it, that kind of seems to be what's happening here in 7. And then he also talks about how here's what frustrates me. He kind of just straight up spoils the ending of Scream 7. This is public knowledge. This is not me throwing a spoiler out there. This is just what Kevin Williamson said. He's saying that I would not end Sydney's story in a bad way. That would be mean. Like, to do anything less than a happy ending for her would be considered mean. This is all, I'm paraphrasing, but that's almost nearly the exact quote. I just look, I know Nev Campbell has said stuff about that too before in the past. Like, I would never do a Scream movie where Sydney died. But it's like, don't say that before the movie comes out, man. Like, come on, give us some tension for any sequences where it's Sydney versus Ghostface. I mean, I don't know. In the same report, in the same news update, we're also having Kevin Williamson talk about how we want to go back to the chase sequences, the tension-fueled build-up, that the original Scream movies had. And it's like, but then you're telling us that Sydney won't die? Like, look, I don't want Sydney to die, but I want her to be in situations where she could. And now you're telling me it's not going to happen. That kills any tension you could have built in Scream 7 with that character. And that bugs the crap out of me. I don't know why you would say that. If I was making a movie and I'm like, oh yeah, our main character is not going to die, she's going to have a happy ending, wouldn't that kind of ruin the hype and the vibe behind a movie? I don't know. I don't understand that quote. I don't understand why he would say that. A little frustrating to me. Like, of course, look, it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, of course she's gonna live. Of course Sydney's gonna live through this movie. But don't confirm that. You know what I mean? Don't come out and say it. I don't know. That's my it bugs me a little bit, but I get it. I get why you wouldn't do that, but you don't have to say it outright. That's my thing. Anyways, getting back to our question we talked about at the top of the stream, Ty Lee, thanks for being a channel member, saying, no school, but I recently watched The Faculty and loved it. That's so funny, dude. So you've kind of gone, you're at horror school, essentially. There we go. I love it, man. I love it. I've seen it before, but I guess I didn't appreciate it. Oh, so now you love it. Okay, you kind of had a change of heart on it. Interesting. I kind of feel the same way about Longlegs. I just rewatched that this morning. I really do have a bigger love for it than I used to. I'm still not at the point where it's like 10 out of 10 horror masterpiece like the majority of people, but like I do have a bigger appreciation for it now. I'm still bothered by how the twist ending is spoon-fed to you, but man, there is a lot to love about that film. There's some great stuff about it. So we're covering that on the podcast this week, which is really exciting. We're back to the KillJoy Jake podcast. A lot of things that I've been wanting to do with this page that I just haven't, and moving into this apartment has really just kind of woken me up to a lot of that stuff. It's like, okay, we got to get the podcast going again. We got to get movie projects back on board. A lot of things are moving forward. I am the busiest I have been in a very, very, very long time, and it's exciting shit. But yeah, the podcast is coming back. I think we're going to drop these on Saturdays to not interfere with the update video schedules. But we just recorded it this morning. We'll be posting that sometime, like I said, Saturday. And it's going to be we're covering Longlegs first. We're doing a little retrospective on that, revisiting that movie all the way here in the future, which is fun. But I'm really glad you like The Faculty. I've always really enjoyed that one. That's a really funny, really funny Kevin Williamson script. I love that one quite a bit. Fucking cracks me up, dude. When Elijah Wood sniffs Jordana Brewster's hair, it's just it's a 10 out of 10. I mean, I couldn't have written a better scene myself. Matsy434 is saying, what up? Cryptic Haze also saying, what's up? Saying, sorry I'm late. I was watching Berserk. I don't even think I know what that is, but rock on. I hope it's good. Picky Piggy 180 saying, sorry if I'm late. It's all good. You only get one slap on the wrist for being 10 minutes late. I'm just kidding. Thanks for being here, my friend. Appreciate you. Gina is here as well. Thanks for being a member. Thanks for modding this afternoon. We appreciate your support. Devontae Arnold, ayo. Got some big guns in that profile picture. Love to see it. Looking forward to Scream 7, but I do believe there is one big surprise they haven't spoiled. Oh, trust me, there's plenty of surprises they haven't spoiled. They have spoiled some, let's be honest, but they haven't spoiled all of them. I know that for sure. Mandy Jean is also saying, hi, Jake. Hi, Mandy. How are you? Welcome in. Thanks for being here. Sloppenheimer, it's getting real sloppy on this stream, saying Sid's daughter should be the final kill with Ghostface getting away. God, you want to talk about mean-spirited. Brutal, dude. Well, now that we know that Sydney's getting a happy ending for sure, I doubt any of her family members are going to die. So that's another big surprise they might have just killed, but it's fine. Everything's fine. Scream 7 is hopefully still going to find a way to be surprising. Cryptic Haze saying, am I the only one who's hoping the supposed Scream 7 mask is just a prop and we get a different mask? No, you're not the only one. I promise you that. I think with this movie being a back to basics Scream, trying to go return to form route, I think that's why they want to do the original white mask again. But like, I do kind of miss, it was really fun in Scream 6 doing a different kind of mask. I liked that. I would like to see that happen again in the franchise at some point. Would love to see them play around with all those different Fun World masks. Dude, there's so many of them. Like, there's so many different Ghostface masks. It's kind of insane that we've only done like a variation one time. I mean, that was, this is such a weird thing to say, but that was such an exciting part of the new Halloween trilogy, is that we got a different mask every time. We had the original in Halloween 2018. It was cool. It was like kind of just like old. It was like broken and old and all that, had all the scratches and shit. But then it was burnt in the second movie. It was like, oh, that's sick as fuck, man. And then in Ends, it had mold growing on it. I'm like, that. Say what you want about that trilogy, but the masks were cool as. I loved the evolution of the mask throughout all those films. That was so much fun. That was a fun thing to follow, and I kind of hope that Scream can do something similar to that. Maybe less of the idea of it getting, burnt or beaten throughout the movies, because they're all supposed to be a different killer every single time. But can we do something along the lines of like just killers are trying out different masks? I mean, I imagine like all of those exist in universe, all the different masks. I wouldn't be opposed to that notion. think that would be fun. Have an orange ghost face mask running around. I don't know. Why not? I think that would be fun. I'm so with you there. Would love to see them do some weird shit. And King Matthew's talking about it, so I'm going to get into it. We did find out today at the doctor's that since my fiance is pregnant, we are having twins. Holy shit. I didn't know. This is new. This is an update. I'm so nervous because this will be my first time having kids. Well, you told us last night that your fiance was pregnant, that you were having a kid. So again, congratulations on that. But twins? Oh my God. Dude, you're very lucky. That's what I'll say. Congratulations. I think you're going to kill it. I totally understand being nervous, but you're gonna be awesome. You're gonna evolve as a human being, and you're gonna make it happen, my friend. So much love to you. So good luck. We have so much fun in the Bahamas, getting married and doing the honeymoon at the same time. So fucking cool. Rock on, my friend, and congratulations. We have some people talking about Spider-Man, the Amazing Spider-Man specifically. You think that movie kind of matches the Final Destination in soundtrack and it gives a Final Destination vibe? I kind of feel it's got like an early thousands vibe. I can see that. I can see that vibe being applied to that movie. That's interesting. God, I hope the new Halloween news isn't about a 10-minute commercial movie. They're doing a Bud Light ad with Michael Myers this time. What's it gonna be? Angry Orchard or Bud Light? Which one are we drinking? I don't Sweet Revenge. I've talked about it a little bit on the page. I don't outright hate it. I'm going to make my jokes about it because of the hard cider that they're constantly pushing throughout that 13-minute long thing or whatever. But I don't know. It was just for the return to this iconic slasher, coming back to the screen. It was okay. It was all right. It was a fine short film. I think I like the majority of the fan films I've seen better, which is really just kind of a sad thing to say. The biggest thing I did not like about it is like they just were speed running through what would essentially be a Mike P. Nelson Friday the 13th. That's what like kind of bummed me out about it. It's like, dude, just give them the money to make a whole movie. Like, are you kidding me? Like, what? I don't know. It's too much speed running. I would have rather just like do one scene in the movie. Like just do one scene where Jason comes in there, rips somebody's head off and chases the final girl around. There was just like, they were trying to do like, here's all the scenes from the full length Mike P. Nelson movie, but cut down to 13 minutes. It was just like, that didn't really work for me. I don't know. I would have rather have seen the full feature personally. What else is going on? Who else is hanging out with us? We got Erica hanging out with us. What's up, Erica? Yo, meowdy. Don't forget to send the like button some love, says Gina. I appreciate that. Cinepixel is saying Jake, Scream 7 or Final Destination 7. That's such a tough question because Scream 7 is such an interesting film. I've had such a blast covering it. It's been a roller coaster of emotions talking about that one. So I think in a lot of ways, my anticipation for Scream 7 is like the highest because I don't know what the fuck we're going to get with this movie. Is it going to be great? Is it going to be a disaster? Is it going to be somewhere in the middle? I don't know. I think about it every morning when I wake up. You think I'm joking? I'm not. I think about this movie way too much. I'm like, what the fuck is this movie going to be, man? I don't know. And I think that has me the most. That's why I'm like so excited for it. But Final Destination 7, I can't imagine it's going to be bad. I'm sure that one's going to rock with how kick-ass Bloodlines was. But 7, I think I'm just weirdly maybe more excited for it with Scream just because I don't know what we're going to get. And that, I'm a risky I like doing I like risky stuff. So that has me excited. It's a gamble is what Scream 7 is. We're rolling the dice. Who knows where they're going to land? And that is, that has me excited. That is my little risk-taking heart real hyped up. Let me tell you. Aim Punch is saying, howdy, Jake in chat. What is up, my friend? Welcome in. Welcome in. Thanks for hanging. What are you the most excited about in terms of horror? Let us know. Cinepixel is saying Blumhouse's Halloween mask is my favorite. I totally agree. I don't. Maybe that's a hot take. I don't know, but like that's the Halloween 2018 mask. I think that's like my favorite. I love it. Love it. Victor Simpson is saying I'm a simple man. When I see KillJoy Jake online, I join. Well, Victor, I greatly appreciate that. Thank you so much. I'll try to be as silly as I possibly can on this stream. the silliest I've ever been. Official Mig on Tib is saying, oh, Jake, I am planning on returning on drawing again. Run it, dude. That's fun. It's been so long since I drew anything, and I do want to start on maybe some horror movie characters, but I don't know which horror movie character to draw. Some are definitely harder than others. Some have like way more details and definition, right? I tried to draw the lipstick face demon one time, and there's a lot going on with that dude's face. I feel like something like Ghostface wouldn't be that difficult though. You can kind of just like trace some stuff, and I mean, I don't know how serious you're going with it. You know, are you going like for realism, or are you doing like more of like a cartoonish or a stylistic kind of thing? I don't know, but Ghostface would be a fun one to draw. I feel it's a good starting place, I feel, to get into something a little more complicated. Could be fun. Nerdy Mastermind is saying, hey, Jake, I noticed you haven't been covering Clayface much. It's out next year. James Gunn said it's a hard... I think you mean to say it's an R-rated body horror movie. Any thoughts so far? You know, I'm totally excited for it. Dude, if it was up to me, I would cover so many more things than what I'm covering on here. But, you know, the thing that's tough about niches is that you have to stick to them. If it was up to me, the biggest things I'd be covering on this page right now would be like South Park and I don't know why that's the one thing that really came to mind. I'd be covering some of the superhero movies for sure. I'd be covering South Park. I'd be covering the new King of the Hill. There's so much shit I'm interested in, not even just in the face of horror, that I would love to put up on this page. But unfortunately, whenever I try to post about these things, which are like trending topics, I mean, like South Park is a very big, very popular thing right now because of, well, what they're doing. I can't get views on this channel. I don't know what it is. I think I'm too stuck in the horror niche to do literally anything else. But if it was up to me, I'd do something. I would honestly expand this channel out to even more stuff like that. But, you know, I think the majority of people are looking at something like Clayface and they're thinking, oh, that's part of the DCU. And they don't even really know that's a horror film. So I would totally cover it. I'm interested. I've read some of the updates on it for sure, but I guess it's just not something that I feel works in the niche of this channel. That's why I've tried to start all these other channels. A lot of people are like, Jake, why are you doing another channel for horror gaming? And it's because I don't, believe it or not, I feel like horror gaming is actually outside of the niche of what would hit the algorithm on this page, which is really frustrating. I would just do one channel for everything, man. That would be way easier. But unfortunately, we have to find ways to break the mold with the different topics I want to cover. I had an animation channel for a little while. I might go back to it at some point because I've been religiously watching this new season of South Park, also the new season of King of the Hill. So much good stuff. I mean, animation is having like just some killer releases right now. Would love to get into that too. I'm a huge horror fan, but I also love like adult animation, just animated stuff in general. Very big fan of that. Would love to talk about that on another page at some point. I'm already stretched too thin though, so I don't know when I would have the time to do it, but but it would be fun. Would be fun to talk about that. Clayface, I'm here for it. I'm loving the idea that this cinematic universe can expand beyond just superheroes. You know, we can get into different genres. That's what I really like so much about the Pooniverse. That's what I feel makes it so special, and that's what I feel like whenever like the MCU does that, kind of goes out of the comfort zone, goes to different places. It's able to really shine and stand out. You know, it's all connected, but it all tries different things out, goes to different places. There's a reason to go see all these different things. I think some people want consistency. Some people just want the same thing every single time. But for me, a big draw to, you know, connected universes like that is when you can try out different things with every single movie. I don't see the point in doing the same thing with every single movie in a connected franchise, universe, whatever. I just don't see the point of it. I don't, why even tell that story then? It just feels like you're just doing it for money. Is how I feel about it. If you're just gonna do the same story over and over and over and over again, I want some different bullshit. Even if it's something I'm less interested than a previous idea, I would rather get into different ideas with every single kind of movie project, this, that, the other. So I kind of love what James Gunn is doing with the DCU right now. It has me very excited to see where it goes next. Am I going to play Resident Evil Requiem when it comes out on the gaming channel? Absolutely fucking yes. That will be the focus of You know, it's funny that week is going to be so busy. Scream 7 comes out that week, literally the same day as Resident Evil Requiem. So that week I'm going to be covering Scream 7 like fucking crazy on this page. And then over on the gaming channel, I'll be covering Resident Evil Requiem probably that whole weekend. So it's going to be Scream stream here followed by Resident Evil Requiem stream, just back and forth all weekend. That's going to be nuts, but I'm excited for it. Cryptic Haze is saying, just think one good thing is all the bad things that happened in life were worth it because now you can teach your kid not to do it. That is some excellent advice. It's very funny, but excellent advice. I love it. Flamingo Productions is saying, hi, Killjoy Jake. Question, do you still have your cameo in Pooniverse Monsters Assemble? Well, I couldn't tell you that, could I? I don't know. We'll see. We'll find out. Magnificent Logo is saying, yo, sorry I'm late. It's all good. Your logo's still magnificent. Thanks for being here with us. Appreciate it. A lot of people want to see a Scream 7 cliffhanger like Devontae Arnold, who's saying maybe Scream 7 ends with Sydney's daughter kidnapped, but a Ghostface. Wait, but she is Ghostface? What? With a Jigsaw mentality. Dear God. I would love to see the cliffhanger happen. I think that would be really fun. I know that this is something that Kevin has always wanted to do in the franchise. I would love some sort of two-parter finale to end Sidney Prescott's story. I think that would be really fun. I think that Sydney story needs to come to an end. Otherwise, we could, continue to bring her back over and over and over and over again to the point where it's like, okay, well, now this character sucks. I would hate for that to happen to Sidney Prescott. To this day, I think she's my favorite final girl. Always brings it, is always badass across all 5 of her movie appearances so far. Let's not ruin that streak, Let's not crap on that. Come on now. She's the best final girl out there. Don't ruin this story. Rune E. Day is saying, recently saw the movie The Unholy with Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Was a fun watch. We need more scary movies with Negan from The Walking Dead. I totally agree. Great actor. Great actor. I hate his character on The Walking Dead. I think he ruined The Walking Dead, but goddamn, I love the actor. Maybe a hot take. I don't know. I stopped watching after Negan killed Glenn. I literally was like, I'm done with the show. That's a show killing incident right there. I've never gone back to The Walking Dead after that episode. King Matthews switching it up a little bit, talking about Final Destination 7. You're wondering who will be William Bloodworth's replacement in Final Destination 7, since both Bloodworth and Tony Todd is unfortunately passed away. Well, I have talked a little bit about it on the page before. I really think that we're going to have Kimberly Corman come into the next one, be our legacy character. She's been working with Warner Bros. To promote the release of Bloodlines on 4K, DVD, Blu-ray, all that fun stuff with these weird little Instagram reels, if you guys have seen those. I made a whole video about it, I think maybe last week. Wow, that was some really interesting stuff there, because it makes me wonder, what else is she working with Warner Bros. On? Could it be the next film, perhaps? I think so. I think we're moving into something there. So I would imagine Kimberly Corman is going to be the character that our new characters go to ask advice from, right? I mean, that's got to be what it is, I imagine. We'll see, though. We will see what ends up happening. We got JKZ Studios throwing a buck out there. Thank you so much for the support, my friend. Appreciate it. We're moving on this super chat goal, slowly but surely. Appreciate that a ton. A few more people have dropped in here, like Jay Tinzel saying, does Art the Clown make your slasher Mount Rushmore? Yes. Hot take, but yes. 100% yes. I think this is such a big thing. You go back and you watch some of those 80s slashers, not all of them by any means, but some of the classics. And you're like, wow, some of these kills are kind of not great in terms of compared to modern standards. And it's kind of shocking. You're like, damn. There's way more brutal kills in movies today, and I just think, who is the slasher with the most brutal kills? It's Art the Clown. I feel like just for that alone, he makes the Mount Rushmore, but I also love David Howard Thornton's performance in those movies. It's so special. It makes me laugh. Every time I see the guy on screen, I smile. I love him. I love him so much. Art the Clown in 3 movies, already on my Mount Rushmore, without a doubt. It's a tough thing to say, though. I feel like Ghostface is definitely up on there. I feel like Michael's definitely there. Who takes my 4th spot? I don't know. I really don't know. It could be Freddy Krueger. It could be Jason. It could be, I don't know. I think the 3 I'm sure of, 100% on my slasher Mount Rushmore: Art the Clown, Ghostface, and Michael Myers. Those three 100% are up on there. Who takes the fourth spot? There's so many options. It would be tough to say. Max Black is also hanging out with us. What's up, Max? Welcome in, welcome in. Thanks for joining us today. You're talking about, talking about Scream. Yeah, in my opinion, the franchise is so boring now with the same story over and over with new characters. Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens with 7. Hopefully they get into something new. Definitely something I'm looking forward to in 7 is for them to try out some new shit. Hopefully with old characters. Victor Simpson agrees. I haven't watched Walking Dead after Glenn died. I grew an emotional connection to him. It was that, and it was also that I feel he was the best character on the show right there and then. They teased his death, and I'm like, okay, they're teasing it, they're joking with us, but we were kind of just left with a lot of a lot of characters I wasn't just as crazy about. I feel like as that show went on, it had a trend of killing off the fan favorite character. It'd build somebody up, kill them off. And they just did that too many times to the point where I was just like, okay, I'm hopping ship. Sorry. I never went back to the show after that. I don't know. Some people have said that it kind of got good again for a little bit there, but I don't know, man. It's kind of just running. It felt like the show was running in circles at a certain point. Those first 3 seasons or so were pretty damn good, but it really does fall off at a certain point. What else is going on here? We got the bed kill from Freddy vs. Jason. Legendary. I need to put that movie on again, dude. It's been so long. We were talking about this on another stream that I haven't seen Freddy vs. Jason in a long time. I did a rewatch of all the Friday the 13th movies, maybe 2-3 years ago. I think that was the last time I watched it because I just did a Nightmare on Elm Street watch through and I skipped that one. I never got around to Freddy vs. Jason. I skipped it and went right to the remake just because I was kind of dying to rewatch that remake, and it's still bad. Just in case anyone was wondering, it is still bad. That was at the top of last year, I think, if I'm not mistaken, when I went through all the Nightmare movies again. But man, I really want to revisit Freddy vs. Jason. That is a very fun movie. King Matthew III is saying, I feel like Scream 8 should end Sydney's story because if Stu does return, it makes sense. 7 ends on a cliffhanger. Sydney finally kills him in 8, ending Sid's story. Because we got to kill Stu Macher. He's still out there, obviously. TVs don't kill people. Knives kill people. Let's be honest. Riley Rage is saying, hey, Jakey Poo Poo. That's what they called me in high school. Saying, just watch the 1989 horror flick Society. Oh my God, hell. If there's any movie that I could just erase from my brain and watch again for the first time, it would be Society. Oh, what a fun movie. What a outrageous and over the top flick. I love it. I love Society. That is such a fun movie. We need more shunting in today's horror. I think that's the problem with a lot of modern horror movies. There's just no shunting. Come on. I love Society is so much fun. It's a very good watch. A film that I feel is still very effective nowadays with its commentary, with its gore, with its disgustingness. I love it. Little Rascal V. What's up, Little Rascal? How's it going? Welcome in. Saying just got Jollibees and enjoying the rainy weather here in DTX. Downtown Texas. I don't know. Dallas, Texas, along with the stream. I'm so dumb. I don't know what DTX is. God damn it. I'm looking it up. DTX. What is this? Google's going to be like, what are you trying to do, bro? What? I don't know. I don't know what that is. I don't know where you are, Little Rascal, but but thank you for watching the stream. I appreciate it. It's rainy here in Cleveland as well. I've been watching the storm out my window for 2 days now. It's been rough. I think it's coming off of the hurricane, right? If I'm not mistaken, wasn't there just a hurricane? I might be I might be making stuff up at this point. I might be totally senile. That could be the point. That could be what's happening on stream actively right now. But I'm glad you're here, my friend. Thanks for being with us. Paul Bradley throwing their Mount Rushmore out there. Freddy, Art, Ghostface, and Myers. Jason had so many poor or basic kills. Paul, I hate to agree with you, but I agree with you. It bums me out. I love Jason. I love watching him. But you go back and watch some of those Friday the 13th movies, and you're like, some of the kills kind of suck. You're like, damn, it's brutal. Not the film's fault, however, though. That's totally the MPAA cutting out a lot of the best shots and moments from those kills, especially with part 7, which I think could have been one of the best sequels had they not cut out all the blood and gore. Really is a shame. Really a major shame. But yeah, no, I kind of agree. I think I like Michael. Like, Michael and Jason are very similar. I like Michael Myers more. I just feel like he's had better kills. I can't believe how much The Walking Dead. You never know what topic is gonna take over a stream. This is so funny. Nathan, thank you for the $10, my friend. You're saying I stopped watching The Walking Dead after Rick left Negan live. There's a moment in one episode when Rick and his people finally had the upper hand, and Rick let him go. You know, I've heard of this. I've heard that Negan and Maggie ended up like kind of teaming up together. I don't buy it. You know, I don't know what happened. I haven't seen it for myself, so it's hard for me to judge. But just from an outside perspective, we're talking about the guy that killed her husband. And now he switches sides. He's a good guy. He's working with Maggie. I don't buy it. I don't know what happened in the show to lead to that point. What consequences had those kinds of, how one cause to an effect. I don't know how we got to this point, but I just don't buy it. I don't know if I could get into that storyline. I feel like it's an irredeemable sin what Negan did, and he deserved to die because of it. And never getting that comeuppance, like, that's another reason why I just don't think I will revisit The Walking Dead. Like, that to me should have been one of the biggest things. Well, one of the biggest things about that show is it should have led up to Negan's ultimate death. And I would be fine waiting for it. I would be fine if that didn't happen until the last season. But to not ever do that is a major, major, major missed opportunity. Like, that's a Game of Thrones season 8 mistake right now. Too dark to see an episode kind of vibe. Like, what? I don't know. I'm Nathan. I'm totally with you. They should have gotten the upper hand and took him out. Because as an audience member, I know I would have been like, yeah! I would have punched the air just like that. But Nathan, I'm totally with you, my friend. Thank you for the $10. Thanks for supporting the page, man. And I'm sorry that you were also disappointed with the Walking Dead, like myself. Little Rascal is saying it was Dallas, Texas. Thank you for the update, because I was gonna scour the internet and be like, what the fuck does DTX mean? Sorry, my little noodle up here is a little slow moving sometimes. I appreciate it though. Thank you. Thank you for not making me feel like a total idiot. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. I'm gonna slash and gash is saying all the Scream 7 quotes that have come out in the last day is juicy. Yes, it has. There's a reason we've only made Scream videos in the last week. Nev saying she didn't watch Scream 6, but told Skeet and even Monster Mania's crowd she did and loved it. What the fuck is going on? Yeah. I'm glad someone pointed that out. What's up with that? I think Nev, I'm just going to be totally honest here. So a lot of the Nev Campbell stuff that has come out lately is just like unbelievably hypocritic. Like, I love you, Nev Campbell, but what are you saying? What is happening right now? Mason Gooding back in February said that Ghostface is going to score his goriest kill in Scream 7. Most brutal Ghostface. We're going to see a ton of Viscara. And then she's like, actually, no, we're going back to Kevin Williamson said this, in fairness. Kevin talking about Nev Campbell's approach to 7, he was kind of saying that she wanted to go back to less blood, more chase sequences. We're not doing a ton of gore in this movie. What? That's conflicting. And then also what you just said, saying that that Nev Campbell has said that she's seen Scream 6 and said that she loved it. She really enjoyed the film. I thought that was really cool when I heard that update too, all the way back then. Because I felt like it was like, okay, she's being a good sport about it. That's awesome. Rock on. Thank you. That's really cool, Nev. Appreciate you for still supporting the franchise, even with all the bullshit that happened. And now she's saying she's never seen it. Like, what? I don't know, man. It kind of bums me out a little bit. It's just like, don't lie. You know what I mean? Don't lie to to people about what the hell's going on. I feel like we're catching a lot of lies in action right now, and I don't really know what's going on. I feel like it's a lot of just marketing for a film, trying to stir up some drama, trying to stir the pot. That's what I feel like it is. It's a lot of rage baiting. Just let's try to get people talking about this shit. Let's try to get moving. But I just don't. Lying's not a good thing. Don't do that. I don't know. bums me out a little bit. But I agree. There's been a lot of weird shit happening, but I really think it is to stir up some drama. That's a really good way to market shit, I've heard. JKZ Studios throwing $2 out there saying, please watch my Mid-Nightmare 3 on live on screen. I don't know what that is, but I appreciate the $2, my friend. Thank you for the support. Thank you. Thanks for the $2. Thanks for adding to our little super chat goal there. Little Rascal is saying that, bruh, the way that the Walking Dead broke DBD, it's sad but crazy. I've heard that I just heard recently there was a weird live stream that happened with Chandler Riggs promoting Dead by Daylight. I don't know too much. I haven't read too much about it, but what's going on with that? What's up with this? What is happening with all this crazy shit? I don't know. That's interesting though, Little Rascal. I'm curious what that all is. What's happening there? I know that recently there was like an outage or something. I just got an update about that actually. Wait a minute. Hang on. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like more things I think have happened. I'm not going to find it here, but we'll get back to that soon. I'm really excited to play some DBD on the gaming channel at some point again, by the way. We're getting back to that very soon here. Hopefully tomorrow we can make that happen. But I will say I am prioritizing seeing the new Hell House. Definitely one I'm excited to cover on the channel. So gonna try to stream tomorrow. Hopefully we can make it happen. Nathan, dude, thank you again for 2 more super chats, man. Greatly appreciate it. You're saying with another $10, you're saying my understanding from watching YouTube clips, totally fair, my friend, is that Negan met a group called the Whisperers and realized how much worse they were than he. Watching them made him regret his actions. And then you're following that up by saying Maggie and Negan wound up teaming up out of necessity, but will never forgive him. Okay, fair enough. Again, I haven't seen it, so it's tough for me to really voice an opinion. But just from what I've heard, I'm just like, what do you mean they're teaming up? Like, of all the people to team up in the Walking Dead universe, come on, man. So Negan has met like another group. I remember hearing about who the Whisperers were. They were like, they dressed up like zombies, right, or something, and they like walked amongst the infected. I kind of remember that. I kind of remember hearing about that. And he made him regret his actions so that he would stop being such a piece of shit. I don't know. Again, I don't know if that works for me, but I don't know. Maybe I'll try it out. Jeffrey Dean Morgan is such an excellent actor. I've seen him in so many different things where he has just fucking killed it. To me, what I didn't like about The Walking Dead was the writing just in general. It just kind of goes off the rails at a certain point, and it kind of lost me. But I do appreciate some of the cool things that show was able to do, but I also feel it's responsible for the reason we don't get zombie movies anymore. I feel like there's a real big fatigue for zombie stuff after how popular The Walking Dead was for so long. But I don't know. I would love to see zombies come back. It's funny. I'm even wearing my favorite zombie movie on the shirt today, Zombie 1979. I really do love zombie movies, and I think when they're done right, they're fucking excellent. But unfortunately, so many times they've been done where it's like, okay, this is kind of shit. This is kind of shit. This is kind of just zombies are walking around, not a whole lot of character work, yada yada. If you're gonna make a zombie movie, it's got to mean something. George Romero understood that with his original trilogy, which is so well done and arguably, not really arguably, it's an opinion, so it's always arguably, but man, those are 3 of the best zombie movies ever made: Night, Dawn, and Day, baby. But I think truly what it comes down to is that a good zombie movie, it's more than just what's going on with the zombies. Is everything with the character relationships working? Is that engaging? Is that intriguing? Is this apocalyptic scenario? Who is it affecting? And how are these people going to react to each other because of that? So it is more than just zombies, I guess is my point. So I totally agree that I would love to see. I would have loved to have seen Negan get his comeuppance. Maybe he still will in this Dead City show or whatever was going on with that. Again, I haven't been following Walking Dead updates, I guess, too closely. A little bit here and there, I'll talk about it, but yeah, I would love to see Negan get fucking butchered. Maybe that would be cool. I'll come back when that happens. Spoil it for me. I don't even care. Fuck it. But Nathan, dude, I really appreciate the support, my friend. I hope that Walking Dead has I would maybe it's already having a comeback with some of the spin-off shows, but I would love to see a comeback. There was a time where I was really excited about new episodes. And it was a fun time when I was young, growing up, loving zombies, the weird little guy that I was, and still am. Let's be honest. But thank you again for the support, Nathan. Appreciate you a ton. Flamingo is saying, question, Erica, how long have you been following the stream? Because I can see you're a super fan. Erica's awesome. We appreciate Erica quite a bit. I just sent her a message about how awesome she is. In fact, I greatly appreciate. She's been modding for a very long time on the page, and she does that just out of goodwill, and I greatly appreciate her a ton. So, Erica, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for always being such a big part of these streams. Really does mean a lot. Little Rascal giving us an update here, saying the DBD servers are just fucked right now, and not in a good way. 2v8 just started too. 2v8's back. I love 2v8, dude. 2v8 on DBD is so much fun. Okay, we're playing that on Thursday. Fuck it. I'll do an early stream. I don't even care. That shit's so much fun. I'm all about it. Albie Live is also hanging out with us. Welcome in, my friend. You're excited for the Black Phone 2. You want some news. I'm also excited for the Black Phone 2. I think this is going to be a rare sequel that tops the original. I'm betting on it. Like, I'm actually pretty confident on this, which is something I was not very confident on before I saw the trailer. I loved the Black Phone. I really did. I enjoyed it quite a bit. But I walking out of that movie, I did not need a sequel. And when they announced, they're like, oh, we're doing Black Phone 2. I took it as Blumhouse is like, we just need let's make some money off of a popular IP of ours that suddenly got some big attention to it, made a bunch of money. That's kind of how the news came off to me at first. But then I saw that trailer, and goddamn, oh, I was sold. I was like, snowy slasher movie? Okay, I'm into this. Let's go. An easy way to my heart with any horror film is if you can do a slasher or like just people getting killed in the snow. I honestly, even if the plot kind of sucks, I'm probably going to like that movie. There's something about a snowy killer movie that I just vibe with. A very good example of a movie that I just I glaze a little too hard is Wrong Turn 4. I love Wrong Turn 4. Is it a good movie? Probably not, but God, I love it. Oh my God, it's so much fun. That's probably my favorite Wrong Turn movie, and I know that's that's a shit opinion. I'm telling you that right now. I love Wrong Turn 4. It is so much fun. It's snowy, it's bloody, it's mean, but it's fun. Nathan throwing another $10 out there, dude. Thank you again for your support, man. You're making this stream. Saying, trust me, you haven't missed anything since you stopped watching. I just have too much time on my hands and spend too much of it on YouTube. But I'm done with The Walking Dead. You know, I respect it, my friend. I respect it big time. I don't know. There's a part of me that wants to revisit it, like just finish the show because, like I said, I grew up with it. It was a big part of my childhood, like in middle school especially. I just remember being hyped for the new episodes. I literally, when the show was coming on, like season 1, they were marketing it and all that shit, I would tell kids at school to watch it. Like I would literally go... I think I was meant for the line of work of movies and TV shows, man, because I would literally promote The Walking Dead to my friends in middle school. What friends? Like I had friends then. To random people in middle school, I would just go up to them and be like, "Are you watching The Walking Dead? Guys, I don't want it to get canceled. You know, make sure you watch it." I was that much of a loser back then as I am now. But I'll tell you what, I really want to, there's a part of me that wants to revisit it, but I feel like you're probably right, Nathan. I'm likely not missing much. I've probably seen the best of it. Season 1, I still think is the best The Walking Dead thing. Season 1 was, chef's kiss. It didn't really get better than that, but I do love seasons 3 and 4 though. Those were really good too. But Nathan, again, thank you for the 10. I appreciate it a bunch. How do you feel about I'm curious now how you feel about Game of Thrones, because that's another one that I watched like religiously, and then up until about like season 7 was like a little weak, whatever, you know, not a big deal. But season 8 was like, this is dog shit. What happened? This show fell from grace. It's crazy. That was another one for me that I was just like really disappointed in. But anyways, can someone play the SpongeBob Sweet Victory song when I hit the goal? That would be awesome. That would be that would be legendary if we can make that happen. I need a soundboard so bad. I don't know if my friend Teddy likely is not here, but if he is, hi Teddy. Hello, what's up? What's up? He has a soundboard, and every time we play games, he uses it, and it's very funny. I like it quite a bit. What else is going on? Jake, did you hear at an AMC theater during a weapons screening, a fan got beat up by a group of teens? What? When he complained to the manager that they were being disruptive during a movie. Jesus Christ. Well, I mean, that's terrible. That's fucking awful, man. Like, it's like, dude, y'all were being shitty during the movie too. You're talking over it, you're being disruptive, and now you're gonna beat the crap out of the guy who's getting you kicked out, basically. What the hell's wrong with people? You know, one of the very worst, I'll be very quick about this, but one of the worst theater experiences I've ever had was for such a good movie, and it bums me out. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, dude. It was all a bunch of kids. I mean, it was like a bunch of like teenagers talking over the whole damn movie. And like, we actually like got up and talked to like some people, kicked them out, and then another group behind us started being disruptive. Man, I don't know. That was a real negative experience, which I think is just such a bummer because I think that movie is so good. But I remember the theater experience was just awful, like actually one of the worst I've ever had in my life. So don't be disruptive during a movie. That just sucks. You're paying money to see a movie. Like, go see the movie, you know, get off of this thing and shut the fuck up. Ghostface is with us, believe it or not, asking a Scream question. Shocking. I'm kidding. Saying Ghostface in the snow with a white cloak, dude. Nothing. And I mean nothing would get me more excited than a Scream movie in the snow. But then also to have a different style of a different robe, a different mask, all that shit. Ugh. I remember when we were first talking about Scream 7, whatever the hell that was going to be before. It was about Neve Campbell. All the theories about it being like New York in the snow, dude. That would have been so cool. If we ever go back to the Carpenter sisters, or if we ever tell like a new story in Scream again with like new characters, we gotta do snow. We gotta do a snowy Scream movie. Like, I don't even care where. Just do it in the snow. Just make it happen. Maybe we could do it with Scream 8 if we're still in Pine Grove. Like, could we like flash forward to the wintertime? How fucking cool would that be? I would be so down for that. Oh, that would be awesome. I would love a snowy Scream movie. Literally nothing would make me happier. I would be jumping. Be doing jumping jacks. That would be so awesome. Nathan throwing $5 out there again, dude. I can't thank you enough. You're saying tried the Game of Thrones pilot, couldn't finish, fell asleep, haven't seen it since. Brutal, dude. You know, I'll say it's a little slow to get into, but by the end of season 1, I think you'll be hooked. It's kind of one of those shows that it's a slow burn into this big fantasy epic. It takes its time to get there, but there's a really crucial event that happens in, I think, is it the penultimate episode of season 1? For those who know, maybe you know, I don't know, but there's an insane, like, holy shit, I can't believe that happened moment that, like, from that moment on, I knew the show was good, but unfortunately they really fucked up the ending, which might deter you from watching it. But there's 7 seasons of that show. That's pretty damn good. That's what I'll tell you. But you're also saying, which thankfully meant I didn't have to suffer through the ending like everyone who did see it. You're right. You know, as much as I do love Game of Thrones, I probably will never go through it again because the ending is so bad, Nathan. I'm going to be honest. Like, the end, dude, it's the worst way you could have ended that show. It's the most like, fuck it, let's do this kind of vibe to it. And it's just like, you had so much good shit set up. Why wouldn't you do this instead of that? You know, I want the unexpected when it comes to good TV, when it comes to good movies and shows and stories, whatever. But I just sometimes, if shit just doesn't add up, if, you know, the cause to the effect if that doesn't line up, it can totally ruin something, which really bums me out. And Game of Thrones, I feel like, is a spitting example of that in the worst way. So Nathan, I feel you, man. Maybe don't watch it then. But first, like, 4 or 5 seasons, I think, are phenomenal and so worth your time. And if you want to see a character get his comeuppance, you get that in Game of Thrones, my friend. If you're pissed about Negan, let me tell you, there's something pretty fucking cool in Game of Thrones. But anyways, appreciate your support, though, my friend. Again, really, thank you so much. Major Foster is with us, saying, I think Gil Weathers is going to die because some people are not excited for Scream 7, so they can kill Gil for shock. And I think that McKenna Grace is the killer. I I agree with a lot of this, Major Foster. I could totally see Gale dying just to kind of fulfill like some sort of big shocking death or moment. But I don't feel like, I feel like there's a purpose to kill Gale Weathers. Like, honestly, I don't feel like it would be just for shock value. This is a character that had a pretty good, damn decent arc on a good path, and then kind of has skewed away from that. Could we kill her as almost like a suggestion that she's gone too far away from the good path that she was on? She's fallen back on her bad ways. I feel like that could give the character a lot of weight. Could be saying something really special with the character of Gale Weathers, to kill her after falling far from grace, from kind of where she was at like some sort of moral zenith at the end of Scream 5, right? And now to kind of see her fall, because she fall all the way to like just basically, getting like what she deserves essentially with a death. That would be still pretty fucking sad, but I don't know. I think you can make a Gale death very, very thematic, very meaningful if you do it the right way. Justice is saying, "Hey, what's up? What's up? Welcome, welcome, welcome." Little Rascal V is saying, "Bruh, I almost got in a fight on the Fast and Furious ride at Universal." That's like the worst Universal ride. Like, I love Universal so much, but what the fuck happened with that ride? I love Fast and Furious is a series I love ironically. Like, I don't think it's good, but that's why I love it. It's so funny. There's no, like, honest to God, I think that there should be entire classes studying the Fast and Furious franchise. That's how absolutely insane it is. It's just one of those series that started off as one thing and has snowballed into something else entirely. I don't even know what it is anymore, but it's crazy shit. It's crazy shit. Beer Belly Angler, what's going on, my friend? Thanks for being here. Saying, what are you the most excited to see in Scream 7? To see how Stu is brought back or used? Well, of course, because he's obviously alive. Or to see how Nev Campbell's storyline ends or continues. I am excited to see if they actually end the Sydney story, and I think it would be ballsy. I think it would be ballsy and respected, very like a great way to respect the character. I brought this up a few times, but like what they did with Laurie Strode, I just feel like there's been many storylines with Laurie Strode that suck. I think most of them, if not all of them, do. Hot take. I think Laurie Strode is a great character for that original Halloween, but I didn't need a fuck ton more with her in all these other movies. And I just feel like I'm starting to get to that point with Sydney. Awesome character, has a pretty damn great story, but I feel like we could get to the point where we're actually getting sick of her, and like they just don't, the stories don't know what to do with that character anymore. And wouldn't that would suck? I would hate to see this character who right now, as it stands right now, has four pretty awesome stories about her with a cameo appearance in 5. That's pretty badass. I would hate to see anything less than that in a future movie. I think 7's gonna do right by the character. I really do. But beyond that, like, what else can you really do after the character has a kid? You know what I mean? Like, our character has a grown child now. What else can you do with this character beyond that? You know what I mean? I feel like it's not so much that I don't want to see more of Sidney Prescott. It's more that I would hate to see her come back for a story where she's mismanaged or poorly placed, or just something that doesn't need to happen with the character of Sidney Prescott that feels lesser than what we've gotten before. That would suck. So I love Sidney, and I just really hope that they respect this character. They do something that's meaningful with her, that adds to the character opposed to detracts or just brings her back for nostalgia bait, because that feels cheap, Nathan, one more, throw another super chat out there, meeting our goal of 10 out of 10. Appreciate you a ton, my friend. You're saying, I saw a clip of the finale on YouTube. I would have been livid if I had been watching it as a fan. Yeah, I watched it live in real time. I think I know what you're talking about, the finale for Thrones. The thing that honestly, like, that was just like that just felt like that was rough, but the punch below the belt was what they did in the episode prior to that with with Jon Snow, and I'm not going to get into it. If you haven't seen it, I don't want to spoil it. I guess it's come out. It was a little while ago, but it's a long show to get through. I just feel like there's some major missed opportunities, and I think that there's a reason why they didn't get that Star Wars project after they butchered that final season. So that's that's all I'm gonna say about Game of Thrones. There's so much I love about that show, but I just cannot believe the way they fucked it up at the end. Nathan, again, thank you for the 5. I greatly appreciate you a ton. Hopefully Alien Earth will be a better series. Really been vibing with that so far. I have not seen episode 3 yet, though. I'm actually going to do that right as this stream ends. I'm going and watching that. Really excited to get into it too. Albie Live is saying, do you already know the boy from the Below trailer is coming in September? What trailer? Do you already know the boy trailer? The boy from the Below. I have not heard of this. The boy from the Below. I'm not aware of this movie. I'll have to look into it. Of something else, I want to talk about the movie Him sometime on the page. That's another one that's coming up that seems to be building a little bit of hype, coming from Monkey Paw Studio. A lot of us love. Would love to talk a little more about that at some point for sure. That's another one that I've been wanting to get into in terms of some other like more original horrors on the way. Riley Rage is saying Gale better get killed on air on live TV. That would be crazy. I would be so into something like that. Riley Rage. Love to see it. Love to see it. Faith Dorn is saying, hey, JK Chad. Hope everybody's having a great Wednesday. Same to you. Happy hump day. We love it. Love to see it. Halfway through the week. We're almost there. We're almost there, ladies and gentlemen. And something else I just want to promote because I'm really excited about it is on Friday, we're doing a Final Destination stream ranking all of the kills. And you guys are going to have the final say. It's basically, I have one vote. You have all the other ones. So you get to decide where all the different kills in this franchise rank. I'm so excited to get into it because it is, it's going to be fun. We're talking about all 6 movies too, kills from all 6 of the films. And I feel like now is a perfect time to do it as Final Destination Bloodlines has recently come to streaming. You can get it on VOD and also physical media as well. So there's no excuse for you not to have seen Final Destination Bloodlines at this point. Stop on by the stream on Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern as we usually go live on this page. And we're going to rank those puppies. It's going to be fun. I'm really excited to get into it. David Primero throwing $2 out there. Thank you for the support. Saying, have you heard Smile 3 is confirmed for next year's release? Oh, I don't know about that, but I know that Smile 3 was, I know that Parker Finn was talking about doing it. Production slated to begin this year. Wow. Shit. I could see it coming out next year. That would actually be really exciting. Damn. That Smile 3 is in the works and set to film. It is set. It's set to film this year if it hasn't already. That's really exciting. But dude, that would be sick if it. Oh my god, if it came out next year. Smile is one of those movies, one of those franchises that really snuck up on me. Like I liked the first one. I was like, this was really solid. Some scary, crazy things happening in this movie. But like the second movie, I feel stepped it up big time to the point where I'm just like, okay, okay, I'm in. Whatever Parker Finn does next, I'm all about this. The thing I loved about Smile 2 is that everything I liked about the first one, it like cranked that up to 11 and lost some of the things I wasn't as crazy about with the first movie. Like it was a movie that totally understood what it could have done better in the previous installment and cranked that up to 11. And I was just like, okay, yeah, dude, yeah, Parker Finn, rock on, man. Give me a million more of these. Let's go. So I'm really excited to see what they end up doing for Smile 3, like what this ultimately ends up being. Parker Finn also, I don't know if this is still happening, but last I heard he was going to direct some sort of new remake of Possession from 1981. This is a very weird and obscure horror film that has a little bit of a cult following. If you've ever seen it, you know that it doesn't need a remake, but if anyone's going to do it, Parker Finn is oddly the guy to do it. I feel like it's a movie where not all is as it seems, and if you saw Smile 2, you know that's one of the biggest facets of that film. is all the misdirection and shit not happening the way you think it is. You have an unreliable narrator, and Possession, very similar film in those regards. So I could totally see Parker Finn doing a version or a take on that, even though I think the original is great how it is. It's a horror film that I'm a little frustrated by. I don't know if I even really love Possession, but I would still recommend it. I would still call it a classic because it is so unique and so interesting. But it is a little I don't know how I feel about it. It's a movie that I don't know if it's for me or not, but I still think that people have to watch it. It's such a weird film, such a weird one. Fort Misery Gaming is saying Fast and Furious is family though, so it's okay to be bad. You're so right. You know what? As long as we have family, that's really all that matters. And Vin Diesel taught me that. As long as Vin Diesel can come in and say family, then that means everything's okay. That means it's actually great. Legion is saying, Jake, what's up, bro? What's up, Legion? Welcome in. Rock on, my friend. Welcome in, welcome in. Major Foster also asking about, can you react to the Whistle movie teaser? And did you like Annabelle Creation? I fucking loved Annabelle Creation. Oh, you know what's funny about that? That was, I was bringing this up the other day. That's a movie that Madison and I went to see before we were dating. I love that movie. Annabelle Creation rocks. Whistle movie teaser. Is this a new thing? Whistle? Is it coming from IFC? Daphne Keane and Nick Frost. Shit, it's got an awesome cast. I'll have to watch this later on. Okay. Rock on, dude. I'm all about that. I'm all about that, baby. I am a little behind on the chat. I'm so sorry. What else is going on here? We got looking at chats. Fort Misery Gaming saying, Jake, did you see Damien Leone was on Midsummer Scream? HHN main panel and the HHN creators talking about the house and Terrifier 4 teaser. I sent you the full panel. Oh shit. I'm going to check it out as soon as possible. See what's up with that. Any Terrifier 4 news is absolutely something your boy is interested in. But I'm excited for Terrifier stuff coming to Halloween Horror Nights as well. Don't get me wrong. I'm just bummed I can't make it. So I guess I'm a little peanut butter and jelly on that one. NRU Cody, thanks for being a member, dude. Saying, hey, Jake and chat, how would you feel if they made a small soldiers film, but horror, like the toys actually kill people, etc.? You know, there's like, isn't there like a short film like that where it's a bunch of like army men going after a dude and there's like no dialogue? What is that? Am I crazy? Am I crazy? Did I just make that up? Did I dream that up? Or is that like a real thing? Short horror film about, I'm looking this up. This was, oh yeah, Stephen King. Yeah. Wait, I know this. Okay. There's some sort of adaptation of Battleground by Stephen King, which was included in Night Shift. There's some sort of short film adaptation of this. I swear to God. Oh, maybe it's in Nightmares and Dreamscapes. There's an episode that was directed. Yes, that's it. Oh my God. I just found something I've been looking for since I was a child. Thank you so much for this. Okay. Long story short, there's a television series called Nightmares and Dreamscapes, and one of the episodes is a converted version of Battleground, the story from Mr. Stephen King, where there's no dialogue in the whole thing. It's literally just this dude fighting a bunch of little army men toys coming to kill him. And I remember it kind of scared me a little bit when I was a kid, because, you know, I was a kid and I was toys coming to life and killing people. That's scary. I remember this like freaking me out as a child. I haven't thought about that in so long, dude. I'm finding this and I'm watching it. That's so exciting. Oh my God. Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for that blast from the past, bro. That's awesome. Who do you think will win, Sienna Shaw versus Sydney Prescott? Sydney's got the experience, but Sienna's pretty fucking badass, man. I mean, she's used a lot more weapons, I feel, than Sydney has already just in 2 movies. Be a pretty fucking close fight. That's what I'll tell you. I think honestly Sienna might win that fight, but Sydney's got the experience, so she might get an upper hand once or twice. Flamingo is saying, did you like it? Because I thought it was interesting. trailer for the new horror film Good Boy. Dude, yes, I'm really excited for Good Boy. Guys, if you haven't heard about this one, look up this trailer like stat. So it's about a dog. A dog stars in this movie, and he goes out with his owner to this brand new house out in the country. They moved from the city to the country, and there's evil spirits here. This is a haunted house, and the dog knows about it, but the owner's completely oblivious. And then he slowly starts to get like taken over by the ghosts, and the dog has to do something to try to save his owner. I just love the concept for this so much. I am like in love with this. I cannot wait to see what the movie ultimately ends up being. It's coming out on October 3rd. Give it a watch, but that is going to be a busy day for releases, let me tell you, because in theaters that day is not only Good Boy, but we also have Shelby Oaks and VHS Halloween. And ladies and gentlemen, while I'm excited for all three of these movies, VHS Halloween has got to take priority that day. I'm over the moon about this film. Cannot wait to get some marketing for that one, let me tell you. Oh, Cody, yes, you did a very good job. Thank you for reminding me of that episode of television. I forgot about that one. Give it a watch though if you want something about like toys killing people. Little Rascal saying all the research and ideas I see for the next Final Destination is involving water, like an aquarium flood or similar shit. Excuse me, I fucking hate water. Well, what's funny about that is my next Final Destination video. What I'm working on right now is a video talking about a bunch of different theories we have revolving around the opening premonition, and how it can be, instead of a man-made disaster, like a natural disaster. Something along the lines of like a hurricane, a tsunami, water-related horrors. And I think what would be scary about doing something that isn't man-made, because if you go back to all the other premonitions, they're all man-made disasters. To kind of get into some sort of environmental commentary with the Final Destination film. Nothing that takes over the movie or anything like that, but just a new theme, you know, to flavor it a little differently. Final Destination 7 had this theme of like family and hereditary sort of horrors kind of following down from past generations. Can we throw a little environmental something in there? You know what I mean? I feel like that's pretty topical. That could be interesting. So I would love to do a little something like that, like a natural disaster to open up one of these movies. That could be fun. I'm losing my fucking mind. Raggedy Man just came in and said, I bought my first Angry Orchard this week. Curse you, Jason Voorhees. I can see you just sipping this and you're like, damn it, it's good. Ugh. The refreshing, crisp taste is because of you, Jason. That's so funny. Oh my God. You know, I'm not even gonna lie. I made a short review video for that one recently, and I literally almost picked up a 6-pack. But then I'm like, but then I'm falling into the capitalist corporate scheme here, man. I can't do that. But I kind of want to pick up a 6-pack. I bet those they're good. I like them. I'm a fan. What can I say? They look tasty in the short too. What can I say? No, that is very funny though. Raggedy Man, that made me fucking lose my mind. That's so funny, dude. Thank you for being a channel member. Thanks for being here, dude. Madison just joined in saying hello, Poop Man. Did you see my text? Also, all chat, not just top chat. Yes, I trust me, I'm on it. I will text you right now because I only have to send a number. There we go. Rock on, rock on. I hope you're having a nice day at work. You're almost done, so rock on. Thanks for being here, Madison. Thanks for the support. Hope you're having a nice day at work. Major Foster, oh, I like this casting, saying, I need to see Sophie Thatcher in the next Final Destination movie and survive. Sophie Thatcher would be a cool, okay, I'd be into that. She'd be a great lead, man. You know, Sophie Thatcher is an actress that kind of frustrates me in a good way. Like, I'm so proud of her that she's had so much success. And how old is she again? Am I not mistaken in this? Yeah, she's younger than me. Honestly, I'm just like, it's insane that how much success that she's had just in the last couple of years. And she's 24 years old. Like, are you serious? Like, what the fuck? No, it really is amazing. She was in, she led The Boogeyman in 2023. And then she was in 2 excellent horror movies back to back, Companion and Heretic. Heretic being end of last year and Companion the top of this year. And she also has a huge role on Yellow Jackets too, which is like, it's insane. I don't know, like just how can you be so successful that young? I don't know. And she's just killing it. So Sophie Thatcher, ladies and gentlemen, she totally rocks. I'm so jealous. No, she's rocking and rolling though. She's killing it, and I think that's great. So I would love to see her in Final Destination. I'd love to see her in Scream too. That'd be cool. There was I remember there was a rumor early on with Scream 7 stuff where it was the people were talking about Sophie Thatcher potentially playing some sort of new character, and I'm like, dude, I think she could be a Ghostface. Honestly, I'd go so far as to say she could be one of the killers in this movie. Cody is saying, just pretend the Angry Orchard is Jason's mom's milk. Oh, God. Well, now I don't want it. Now I'm good. Now I'm terrified. Kyle Gordon is saying, Jake, have you any idea when we will get a stream date on weapons? I was probably thinking October would be a great month for that. Probably October, like early October. I could totally see that one streaming by then. Beyond the VOD release, you know what I mean? I'm just trying to think like when it's usually a couple of months after the theatrical release that Warner Bros puts things on like HBO Max. So it'll probably be on Max. And we'll probably see it. Yeah. Like top of October, end of September would be my guess. 100. Yeah, definitely. Nathan is saying Jake Ilphonic release a reveal trailer for a Halloween game. Oh shit. I almost forgot. How can I forget? Yeah, that just happened. That's their big announcement at 4:15. So, Michael Myers returns to Haddonfield in the asymmetric stealth horror game Halloween the Game, immersing players in the terrifying events of John Carpenter's 1978 movie. And yes, the game features multiplayer and single-player modes. That's actually kind of cool. That's a pretty cool update for the Halloween franchise. I like the idea of doing single-player and multiplayer because something that I've been so kind of bummed out about regarding a bunch of horror games is that they're all multiplayer. They're all like these Dead by Daylight copycats. This seems like it could be something different, something's kind of special. And like a single player horror, I just feel like is you're going to get scarier shit that way. With multiplayer stuff, it's more like you're having fun with friends, running around goofing and doing strategy and shit. There's nothing wrong with that. Those are very fun games, but I really like what the new Hellraiser is doing. Maybe biggest example of something that I think is totally going to rock. I love the idea of this is going to be a single player story based new story in the Hellraiser universe. Alien Isolation, another great example. This seems to be something along those lines. It's we're dropping us into the world of the original 1978 film of Halloween. That's very cool. I can't watch the trailer right now. I'm kind of watching it without sound, but it looks really cool. It looks it's very blue like the original movie. Michael looks pretty good. His head's a little misshapen, but that's okay. This is my live reaction to it without being able to see it. They recreated the pumpkin from the opening credits. Okay, this looks fun. It's coming in 2026. You can wish list it now. Nice. Okay, not bad. I'm going to do a video on that on the gaming channel probably right after the stream. Very fun stuff though. Not bad. I like it quite a bit. Hey, Enzo is joining us. What's up, dude? Welcome in. I have not forgotten about our Friday horror date. We're going to be talking a little bit about a bunch of crazy movies and shit. You're saying the last couple of VHS movies released on Shudder, I stayed up until midnight to watch them as soon as they dropped, but both films, they didn't drop at midnight. They drop them at 3 a.m., which is insane. I know that because I stayed up until 3 because I was a fucking madman for VHS 99. I didn't do that. I waited until the next morning for VHS 85 and actually Beyond I got a screener for. But 85, dude, I was like, oh my God, I gotta see that one, but I'm not staying up all night. 99, I remember I stayed up until midnight. I was refreshing Shudder. I'm like, where the fuck is it? And then I looked it up and it was like, oh, it's I think it's like Pacific time. It was some other time zone at midnight that they released it. So for me at Eastern time, it was 3 a.m. So I bought an energy. I went up to the gas station. I got an energy drink. I stayed up and I watched that shit. I think I actually watched the movie, wrote a script, made the review and posted it. Like if I'm not mistaken, I think I'm like exhausted in the review for VHS 99, but I did it. I was like, ugh. I remember staying up all night and watching that movie and being like, this was so awesome, but I'm so tired. It was great. But Yeah, so 3 a.m. supposedly is when they drop those, which is nuts. Ghostface is saying, Jake, what are your thoughts on a Scream film where Sam and Danny's child grows up and struggles with his inherited killer instincts? Maybe Tara's the ants kind of thing. I think what's cool about Sam Carpenter is we were following a final girl who was somebody who was doing something different, had a different struggle than Sidney Prescott. And I think whoever we follow next in the franchise, I kind of feel the same way about. I hope they don't just copy and paste the same thing that it was going on with another character. And I just, that's to me the value of following a new character. I love Sidney, and obviously her history is going to help make Scream 7 something really special, but eventually we're going to have new characters to follow in Scream. That's just, the nature of the game, the nature of horror franchises. You're always going to get new installments with something as popular as something like this. And I just really want to see, I would love to see them follow a new kind of character. Who else can we follow in the world of Scream that is dealing with some different kinds of shit? I'm here for that. I'm here for different kinds of characters, not just more younger Sam Carpenters, Jeremiah Morales is saying, what happened in the garage in your weapons short initial reaction? People are still asking about that. That's really funny. I literally was just filming it. And I was so hyped up. I'm like, you know what? Whatever my first take is, I'm going with that. Like this, I'm just so excited. Let's go. So I started recording. And the moment I did that, all these people came into the garage. And this one lady walks in front of my car and starts pointing back this way, saying, kind of yelling some shit, just like that. Literally no different. Some drama was happening. I don't know. She was yelling at some young kids, specifically. So I didn't see what happened because there was a huge truck right next to my car. I couldn't see anything that was going on over there. My guess is they parked poorly or something and couldn't get, she couldn't get out or something. That was my guess. But it was it looked like she was yelling at some teenagers or something to move their car. That was my guess. That's so fun. We've had people, a few people ask about that on live streams, which I think is, I don't know. That's funny. Oh, man. Albie Live is saying if Finney tries to kill the grabber in the Black Phone 2, would the grabber kill the sister first if Finney would try to kill the grabber in the fight? I feel oddly enough, the grabber is going after Gwenny this time around, maybe even more than Finn, which I think is interesting because, the last movie was all about Finney versus the grabber. So, making Gwen a little more involved, I think is cool. I think that's really interesting. She seems to be having all these bad dreams about the grabber killing her. And that's so Freddy Krueger. That's so interesting to me. I definitely think you're going to see a little more of that in Black Phone 2, just based on the trailer for sure. Big hype for sure. What else is going on? The website says this new Halloween game is 1v4, but there's also a single player mode too, which is cool. So is there a single player story? Let me know, Nathan. Again, I'm going to do a ton of research on this probably tonight, but I'm just curious what you can read. I remember when Jake went bald. I've shaved my head twice now for the page, and it's been it was a mistake. I really shouldn't have done that twice, but I did. If you haven't seen Red Right Hand, there you go. There's the proof. Or the promotion, a little short film I made in 48 hours. I shaved my head for both of those things, which was nuts. Riley Rage is saying Scream Pocket Stories in the same universe after New York. It's clear Ghostface is the IP, not about Stab or a franchise anymore. It is, dude. I mean, I hate to say it. I love the character of Sidney Prescott, but it is about more Ghostface movies. That's what Scream ultimately is. Ghostface is incredibly recognizable, and a point I made on a stream recently is that Ghostface, the reason this is the most recognizable slasher villain is because Ghostface is popular from multiple franchises, from Scary Movie, which is why that bad boy's hanging up right there, and also Scream, that little fella over there. So to me, you see Ghostface in a new movie, and you're going to go see it. That's why they're bringing Scary Movie back. That's why we have, that's kind of the worry behind changing up the Ghostface mask, I feel too much. It's because that's such an iconic killer. Of course we're going to see whatever's happening with that dude in the mask. Well, Ghostface, I feel like, is the most recognizable slasher villain. Some people don't want to hear that, but I feel like it's very true. Whether you like Scream, whether you don't, I feel like no matter what, someone sees Ghostface, they're going to recognize that. We had some, my fiance's sister's kids were over here the other day, and they got to check out my little horror room. And what was the one thing they recognized and pointed to? The Ghostface popcorn bucket. They're like, oh my God, no way, Ghostface. And I think like the one little fella even picked it up and was kind of like looking at it. So they're going to keep making Scream movies with or without Sidney Prescott moving forward. And I think, for me as a fan of this franchise, I don't mind that, like I just want more Scream movies. I'm here for it. There's so much to Scream that is so great. That's why I feel like it could go on forever. It's not something where it's like, it's just about the characters, or it's just about the horror commentary, or it's just about the fact that there's a new killer every time. It's all of those things at the same time. So to me, it's like Scream could go on forever. There's so much good shit that you could constantly throw some more shit at the wall, see what happens. And I think that's why, I understand why people didn't like Scream 6, but that's why I still liked it. Was it missing some franchise elements that are usually great? Yes. But did it have other stuff that was awesome too? Yeah. And that won me over. That was awesome. There's a lot of fun things happening in that movie that I vibed with. So I don't know. I really think Scream can go on for a very long time. I feel like as long as new horror movies are being made, new Scream movies can as well. What else is going on? Did you see that the Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight? Is that a new game or a new movie or something? I'd be into seeing it. I never saw the first Lego Batman movie. I never saw that. I heard it was really good though. I saw the first two Lego movies, like Lego Movie 1 and 2, and I haven't seen anything else from that franchise besides that. Paula Fitzhenry, hi, hello, still here. Thanks for hanging out with us. Appreciate you. Albie Live is saying Terrifier 4 Art versus Sienna to try to kill Sienna. Yes, Art is definitely trying to kill Sienna for 100%. Major Foster is saying, can you rank all of the Conjuring Universe movies? That would be a really fun video. I definitely will 100% am going to cover that new one coming out here in a couple of weeks. When is that? So this week is Hell House. Next week, Toxic Avenger, which all of you should go to the theater and see because it's going to be great. And then after that, first week of September, Conjuring Last Rites. So yes, definitely will be. I'll probably rank them sometime around then. I'm thinking about ranking the Hell House movies this week too. I'm kind of on the fence about it. I don't know what I'm going to do there, but I'm excited to talk about this new one for sure. Definitely going to get a out of theater reaction sometime Thursday. Am I hyped for It Welcome to Derry? Asks Danny. Yes. Oh my God. Yes. I cannot wait for this show. Biggest thing I'm excited for in regards to that is just seeing Bill Skarsgård back as the clown. I mean, I'm excited. The story is probably going to be, something that's, in the past, whatever, with a bunch of new kids on bikes, as we've come to expect from, the Stranger Things copycat show that this is likely going to be. I don't mind, whatever the story is going to be cool. I'm just excited to see Bill running around, chomping on people again. I'm here for it. Rock and roll with that. So yes, I'm very excited. Again, I'm not really, honestly, I don't really expect much of the story, but I'm just here for some really crazy Bill Skarsgård Pennywise moments, if I'm being honest. They're going off book, you know what I mean? They're going off book. They're doing their own thing, and it's also a TV show based off of a movie. So my expectations aren't like here, but like they're definitely here, which is like 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10 territory. Definitely excited for that. I know they announced Stream 2, but I doubt it's coming in 2025. I imagine that earliest that could come out is next year. We just got that announcement that sequel's coming. Stream was a really fun movie. Really enjoyed that slasher. Nathan sent me a post on X. I will check it out. Give it a watch for sure. Ethan Blackburn is also excited for the new Hell House. The movie releases this Friday. I'm so ready. It's going to be so peak. I'm excited. I really liked the last one, Ethan. I wasn't crazy about 2 and 3, admittedly. I was a little, Not as hot on those. Loved the first one. 2 and 3, and then 4 was like, okay, this is we're back to it now. Honestly, Carmichael Manor, that's my favorite sequel so far. I hope Lineage could be even farther up there. I will say I'm a little bummed about it not being found footage. I know like everyone and their mother has already seen this one in terms of movie reviewers. I couldn't get a screener. I don't know why. Messaged the people. They never got back to me. They usually do, and it kind of bummed me out. But I'm seeing this one tomorrow in theaters, and I'm really excited for it. I am really hyped for this one, and I hope it's good. But it all comes down to, is this still going to work? Not found footage. I think that's a big question that this movie really needs to answer in a successful way, which is tough. It's a big swing, but I trust it. I like big swings. I want to see this movie succeed for sure. I also feel like Stephen Cognetti is sick of found footage. Like, can I be so real? He just made a movie called like 216 Forest Hills Drive or something like that. I cannot remember what it was for the life of me. But it was something like that over on Shudder, and it was like his first like not really found footage movie, and it was very similar to Hell House. So like I feel like this is where we're getting into something similar there. What else is going on? Major Foster is saying, on October 4th, my theaters will play Carrie 1976, and I got my tickets. What is your thoughts on Silent Night, Deadly Night reboot trailer? That is good. I did not expect that to be the end of where that chat went. Well, first of all, Carrie rocks. Love that. That's my favorite version of Carrie without a doubt. And the new Silent Night, Deadly Night, that's another one I'm over the moon about, dude. I love the original Silent Night, Deadly Night. It's one of those like just doesn't get talked about enough slashers from the 80s. It is really good, and it has an underground feel, and despite all of that, it is done really well. And I cannot wait to see Rowan Campbell play this slasher villain. Dude, the dude is having such a great career. Like, I mean, Halloween Ends, I hated that movie. I was not crazy about it, but beyond that, pretty much everything else he's done has been phenomenal. Loved him in The Monkey, and I know he's going to be awesome here. So I'm really hyped to see what he ends up doing with this character. It's kind of an iconic slasher too. Danny is asking if we'll get a new Halloween reboot. Oh, yeah, Michael will be back on the big screen at some point. Definitely. Maybe not anytime soon, but we'll see him again in another movie without a doubt. I think the only reason we're not getting a new movie like right now, like in the midst of all this, is just because Halloween Ends just didn't perform at the box office the way they thought it would. There was a pretty steep decline from Halloween 2018 to Ends, so I imagine it's probably just going to be a little while, and then we're going to do something that's back to basics with Halloween again. Michael running around killing people, slicing heads off, Typical Halloween, right? No. Oh, man. Little nasty dad sneeze right there. Madison's been making fun of me lately because I have loud dad sneezes now, and that's just because I'm getting old. It's brutal. It's brutal. I can't believe I don't have like 3 kids already so that they can make fun of me sneezing. Anyways, do you think that Chad will get beheaded? Yes or no? Honestly, it would be kind of funny if he did. Chad getting beheaded. I mean, what a great payoff from Scream 6 to to Scream 7 if he got beheaded. That's wild. I really hope that Mason Gooding is telling the truth about Ghostface getting some gnarly kills and having a lot of viscera, as he says, lots of blood and guts. Nothing would make me happier for a Scream movie to have some really brutal kills. That would be cool. Really cool stuff. Ghostface really hasn't gotten like a ton of like holy fuck kills. So like to have something really shocking like that would be cool. I don't know. Hot take, Ghostface's best kills are in Screams 5 and 6 and 4. And there's one, the Olivia kill in 4 is that's a top 3. I think, but most of the best kills, I don't know, maybe it's a hot take, but definitely in 5 and 6. Have you heard of the new horror movie Trust? Were you thinking of seeing it this weekend? Trust? No, I have not heard of I might have to look into that one. Hell House is definitely the focus of this weekend for me personally, but Trust I'll have to look into. Major Foster, I kind of love this. You need a VHS Christmas. Okay, that actually could be kind of cool. I'd be into a VHS Christmas. That could be fun. Like a Christmas themed VHS with a bunch of, ooh. I really I'm really enjoying where VHS is going lately. You know, they just did like this trilogy of different years. That was the theme, like 94, 99, and then we had 85, which was really fun and kind of all over the place and honestly pretty unexpected with where we were able to go with all the different shorts in those places. There's one short, for instance, in 1985 that is based off of an actual event that happened in like the mid 80s in, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was like Mexico City or something like that. About like an earthquake. We actually involved that in the story, which was fun. And there's a ton of stuff like that in all three of those movies. Y2K is a big factor in VHS 99, which was sick. But what's cool about where they are now is VHS Beyond kind of kicked off this new trilogy in the series where it's like the theme is like a subgenre. So Beyond was sci-fi horror. That was kind of the genre it got ourselves into there. Now it's Halloween is the genre, which is kind of cool. And it seems like we're all pulling from that. I've heard some rumored titles of some of the shorts in there too, and they sound like they're all like very like October spooky season inspired short films, and that has me really excited. So to do Christmas next, I wouldn't be against that by any means. But I did say this the other day on stream, and I still feel like it would be really cool to see it. We had sci-fi, now maybe like spooky season for whatever comes next for VHS 9, because they're going to make a VHS 9. I would love to see a like a ghost story oriented one, because like found footage with ghosts, like that writes itself. I mean, oh my God, there's so much you can still do with that, I feel. I would love to see a VHS that revolves around just like a bunch of ghost stories. That could be fun. Would be very into that. But VHS Christmas, not against that either. A lot of Christmas horrors that we can still dive into, for sure. Is there even a found footage? Is there even like a Christmas found footage? Like, I can't think of one found footage Christmas horror movie. I'm writing that down. Forget I said that. I'm working on that. Oh, man. Found footage at Christmas time could actually be fucking sick. Aim Punched is saying Evil Dies Tonight. Yeah, baby. Every horror film should have a group of people chanting that, I think, really. The Virgo is saying, how do you feel about Nev wanting minimal gore and more suspense for Scream 7? Okay, so we've talked about this quote a little bit today, but I haven't really gotten into how I feel about it. I'm, of course, going to make a video about it, but I really think what she means by that is she wants to get back to chase sequences. I think it's not so much like the focus of Screams 5 and 6 with the horror is what the kill is going to be from Ghostface. It's not really about the chase scene. And I'll be honest there, that feels like a little bit of a departure from where we started with Scream. But I think that 7 is going to be the marriage of a good, suspenseful, building up suspense kind of chase to a pretty crazy, bloody kill. So I think you're still going to have both. Because, dude, it's a modern slasher. You're going to get ripped the fuck apart if you don't have gory, bloody kills. Like, that's just how it is. With Terrifier being so popular, to not do bloody, gory kills would be a mistake. I know what you did last summer just suffered big time from that. And even then, it somehow has the best kills of the entire franchise, which is insane. But if Scream 7 doesn't have blood and gore, a lot of people are not gonna be into that. I'm telling you that right now. We gotta have some bloody, gory kills here, especially after what Ghostface just did in 5 and 6. Like 4, 5, and 6 have changed the franchise forever. There's things that just have to stay the same. We have to have some more brutal kills. I go back and I watch Screams 2 and 3, and I said this on the Lethal Collective the other day. Like, listen, the suspenseful chase scenes, that's super important. I'm so down for that to come back. Like, yes, building up that tension and that suspense is a lot of fun with those earlier movies, but some of those kills are kind of like almost borderline embarrassing in 2 and 3, man. It's just like, are you kidding me? Like, man, that's just Ghostface poking someone with a knife. Like, you can do a little more than that. This is Scream. Come on now. So like personally what I'm hoping for from Scream 7 is we have this bigger focus on Ghostface chasing someone down an alleyway for a longer extended period of time to kind of hype you up, you know? But then ending it with like a Scream 4, 5, and 6 style kill where it's just like, you know, bunch of blood and guts just spraying up all over the walls. That marriage of things from both sides of the the original trilogy and 4, 5, and 6 kind of coming together for 7, that would be something really special. I think personally, that would be something that would make 7 really stand out. And not really be classified with either the original trilogy or 4, 5, and 6, but having elements from both and bringing them together. That could make 7 different. That could make 7 something kind of really special in this like accumulation film, you know? You have to watch Dexter. The new season, Resurrection, is so freaking good. My family all loved the first 2 episodes last night. So much better than the tail end of the original seasons. Oh, okay. I'm really excited to get into Dexter at some point. That's good. When I finally get to take a break from YouTube, I have no idea when that's going to be. But when I finally get to take a break, I'm probably going to sit down and just watch all of Dexter. I would love to, honest to God, like at one point, I want to just like actually take some time off. I took some time off in May, which was nice, but I'm already... This summer has been insane. I'm ready for a little bit of like just a couple of days of just watching some bullshit instead of editing all the time. I can't complain though. I love this job. Having a great time. But sometimes I feel like I talk about movies more than I actually get to watch them. Major Foster is saying, I think Mason Timms will be a good Michael Emerson if someone makes a Lost Boys remake. Okay. I could see that. I could totally see him playing, that character in a new Lost Boys. I don't think we need another Lost Boys. There was a rumor going around that we were getting like a Finn Wolfhard led Lost Boys movie, some sort of remake. I don't know. I feel like that movie's just great how it is. We got to start doing remakes of movies that need remakes. There are movies that we could remake better today. Society is a movie that got brought up earlier. If that got a modern remake with some of the same people who made like the special effects for the original, you would have something genuinely fantastic on your hands. Like, oh man, that would be good. That would be good. I would love to see that happen. Samantha Robinson is saying, Jake just caught the stream, but got to go to work in 45 minutes. All good. No worries. Thanks for hanging out with us. We appreciate you. Hopefully work doesn't suck too bad. Hopefully it's not too nasty. Should I make a Nightmare on Elm Street fan film? If I do, will you check it out? Yes, absolutely. We always need more Nightmare on Elm Street, especially when the studios won't make any more of them. Come on now. We always need more Nightmare. I want some more Freddy in my life, baby. Oh, that would be fun. Nothing would be more fun than some new Freddy action. Why don't you watch good shows on your second monitor? I'm editing an engagement session while I'm watching your stream right now, Jake. I want, especially with TV shows, I want to give my full attention to them. There's some, like, I'll watch a YouTube video in the background. Some days when I'm editing, I'll listen to a podcast or whatever. That's different. But like with a TV show, a movie or whatever, I try to do everything in my power to just lock in, you know? I spend some time on my phone and it sucks. I really try to keep off this thing, especially when I'm watching movies, TV shows, whatever. It's tough though sometimes. Mr. Rick throwing another $2 out there. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. I love this. I think Disturbing Behavior deserves a remake. Yes, I can totally see Disturbing Behavior getting a remake. We're bringing back all these like popular 90s franchises, man. Can we do some of the weird ones? Like The Faculty is finally getting something. Urban Legend is getting something too, which is cool. Disturbing Behavior though, that would be another fun one to revisit for sure. I'm all about that. I would be down. I'd be very down. Disturbing Behavior, it's a fun movie. It's not a perfect movie though. I feel like we could definitely perfect that, give it a little facelift or something in the modern age. That could be fun. Really good characters though. That was a big draw to Disturbing Behavior for me. I loved the characters. It stars James Marsden, popular from Sonic fame. And I liked this movie quite a bit. It's a fun little Scream inspired horror movie. It's got like a little bit of a murder mystery aspect to it. Check it out. It's a fun one. Is that late 90s or 2000s? I always forget. I think that one might be late 90s. But a really solid flick. Really fun times. RBR Short Films is saying, would you check out my new Nightmare on Elm Street fan film that I released in April? Damn, y'all are fucking moving on this shit. Yes, absolutely. I'm going to your channel right now. We're moving over there. Let's see what's up. Oh, look at that. It's right there. Nice. I will absolutely check this out, dude. I just subscribed to. Very nice stuff. Very nice stuff. What else is going on? We got Nathan is saying the black phone is the new Freddy because you can't replace Robert Englund. So if they just do a new Freddy, it won't be the same. We've all seen what happened with the 2010 incident. I honestly think that he played a good Freddy, but he was working with a horrible script. The 2010 Nightmare on Elm Street film was just a disaster. In terms of a creative standpoint. I mean, they hired a guy who had never made a film before. He was a music video director to tackle a very specific horror franchise that isn't really easy to continue. So I don't know, man. I give that. I think that movie's not a very good representation of what it would look like to have somebody else play Freddy, in my humble opinion. But I hear you though. I hear you that Robert would be a tough person to replace. I think he's always going to be the best Freddy because it's just like, you're not going to do it better than him. I mean, he made some of those movies that are like genuinely bad watchable because his performance is so fun and silly. But yeah, no, I agree. There will never be another best Freddy. Robert Englund's always going to be the top, but I'd like to see someone else try, you know? I really wouldn't. What else is happening here? Steph 2007 is saying, is Tamara here? Well, we're going to find out on September, whatever the fuck it is, right? When are we seeing that movie? That's the 26th, right? Yeah. September 26th. In like a month, we're going to find out is Tamara here. I'm so excited for Strangers Chapter 2, guys. Definitely going to be the best slasher movie of the year, without a doubt. Yikes. It's been kind of a rough year for slashers, hasn't it? I feel like honest to God, Hard Eyes is probably my favorite one from the bunch. And like Hard Eyes was okay, you know, it was fine. I had a good time with it, but that being my I was not expecting that one to be like top of the list. Kind of disappointing year for slasher movies, but yeah, maybe this one will be better. Nothing would make me happier for Strangers Chapter 2 to actually be good. I was real disappointed with the first one. I called it one of the worst films I've seen in theaters that I've covered on this page. But man, you know, maybe Chapter 2 is slightly better, and that would be awesome. I still haven't been able to cover there was a leaked trailer for Chapter 3 that came out. Kind of been making the rounds. It was interesting. I think it kind of maybe gave some stuff away, but we'll talk about that at some point, maybe. Oh, yeah, Mr. Rick, I forgot about that. Yeah, I thought you'd like it because the guy's screaming rats by the bay. Yes. Anything with rats, I'm into it, dude. If you can have evil rats running around, I'm so down for it. I recently rewatched Graveyard Shift, which is a movie that's totally out of print, which is funny, but I actually own a copy. I have a DVD of Graveyard Shift. It's not a great movie by any means, but it's totally worth a watch. It's got some crazy action and it's a little bit of a creature feature, but it's fun. It's a fun one. It's a Stephen King movie that's out of print, so I mean, I think it's special for that reason alone. But it's interesting. HMG Workout Fitness is saying, you think Gale will die in Scream 7? This is a question that comes up a lot. I'm going to have to make a video about that. I think Gale could, but like it's got to mean something. You know, I feel like Dewey's death really meant something, and I think the same thing with Gale. If you're going to kill her off, yeah, do something do something good with that character. You know, do something that ends her arc in a way that's deserved. Gale is a character who is slowly going back to her old antagonistic ways, and I think killing her would be kind of like a really melancholic way to wrap up her arc. You know, you like Gale, but also she has her shortcomings and she's kind of parasitic at times. So to see her die would be a mix of emotions, and that would be something really special, something different than killing off someone like Dewey. You know what I mean? Dewey's death is like just I'm gonna fucking cry. What? No way they're doing this. Gale's death, on the other hand, that could mean something else entirely. So I would be into it if they do it the right way. Like, don't just have Ghostface, you know, poke her in the neck or something. Like, I mean, it's got to be a little more than that, but do it the right way, but I think it could totally work. Are you going to pick up the 4K Steelbook box set of A Nightmare on Elm Street I pre-ordered? I really want to, but I have no money right now. moving into an apartment is expensive. So I no. I probably won't be able to pick that one up, but maybe at some point in the future it would be fun. I just have like the DVDs of the. I found like a DVD little set of the Nightmare on Elm Street movies for like, I think I got it for like $20 or something a little while ago. So that's what I'm working with right now. But I would love the 4K set of all those movies. That would be fun. Welcome to prime time, bitch. That's your favorite Freddy line. That's a great one to be your favorite. Mine is how's this for a wet dream? That's my favorite Freddy line. Lots of good ones though. Great graphics. This is God. There's a lot of great Freddy lines. We could just go. I could talk Freddy lines all day long. Picky Piggy is saying, I wish Final Destination had a visible antagonist so we could get merch and stuff out of the series. That's kind of what makes Final Destination stand out, though. It's kind of fun that it's like it's this force of nature rather than a person running around with a mask. I agree. Like, you know, the merch for that franchise is like, here's a skull, right? Because they don't have much else. But I kind of like that. It's more like it's this force, you know, it's this thing out there that's making shit happen. JAB is saying, how come Jake Tyler hasn't gotten a play button yet? Can we help him get to 100K subscribers? Hey, maybe, hopefully. That would be awesome. You know, we're making it happen slowly but surely, but we are moving there. I've definitely been getting more subscribers every year that I've been doing this page, which is nice. But it's slow, but it's happening. I've really only had a few things blow up, which does bum me out, but we're trying to make it happen. I think I don't know, maybe this is a controversial take or something, but I just don't like making very long videos. Like maybe it's a hot take, but like, I'm not going to watch a movie. I'm not going to watch a video that's longer than the actual movie about a movie. You know what I mean? Like give me a 10-minute little video about how you feel, of a review of a movie or with some new information. I watch those. Those are fun. But like when something's like 90 minutes long about a movie that's less than that or something, it's like, bro, you know, that's a lot. I'm very much so in the minority. Everybody loves long videos on this page. That's what tends to blow up. In terms of just movie YouTube, but I like shorter little, give me a little bite-sized piece of something that'll leave me wanting more. So that's what I try to do on the page. I imagine that if I, you know, only posted like once a week and posted like a longer deep dive into something with every single fact you could possibly find on a video, that would probably do better. But I like my little short bite-sized videos. That's what I like to make. Steph is saying, honestly, I'm so hyped for Strangers Chapter 2. They have been promoting this movie so much. Also, the leaked Chapter 3 teaser has me spooked. What the fuck was that last scene in the trailer? Yeah, I want to be hyped, but it's just tough. Chapter 1 was just so bad. I love the first two Strangers, and that's what bums me out. Like, I want to get excited, but Chapter 1 was like abysmal. But I hope that Chapter 2 is better. I feel like it's only up from here. I'm knocking on wood. And hopefully that's true, but we'll just have to see. We'll have to see what's up. Chapters 2 and 3, I hope they're way better. They've hinted at a religious cult in the teaser for Chapter 3. I mean, like, that's cool. You know, I love horror movies about like cults and shit like that. But like, I think what the fundamental misunderstanding of the Strangers in this new series is that the fun of it is that they could be anybody, you know, like explaining it kind of defeats the purpose of making a Strangers film in the first place. That's what was so great about the first one. That's what was so great about Chapter 2, or Pray at Night, whatever it was called. So I don't know. I just, if you're going to make a new Strangers movie, the one thing you shouldn't do is explain where they came from. And this whole trilogy is dedicated to explaining where they came from. And that's why I'm just like, man, they're missing the point. They really watched that first movie and they're like, let's ruin the best thing about this. I don't know. Just kind of crazy to me. Major Foster is saying Sydney is in a car with her daughter, but she gets a phone call by Ghostface saying he or she will come after Gail. She's driving faster. Tatum scared and Gail gets killed by Ghostface. That could be a fun sequence. I'm into it. I'm into something like that. Deadshot is saying they revealed a Halloween video game. We were just talking about that when they dropped it. Yeah, that's really exciting stuff. I'm into it. I'm here to see where all that goes. Definitely want to play that at some point. Sounds like it's got a single player and a multiplayer element to it, which is kind of fun. That's a little different. You know, having like maybe a story mode and a multiplayer mode, that could be fun. Definitely into it. Wes Carpenter Flicks, I don't know if I said hi to you, but hello, my friend. Thank you for being here. Thanks for being a channel member. Yo, why haven't they done Ghostface in other countries? There are so many Ghostface cosplayers in other countries. It's bonkers. I agree. What's up with that? I would love to see a Ghostface movie take place somewhere else. You know, I think that would be a fun setting. They have the money for it too. I mean, the last one was made with $35 million. So come on, man. Try setting it somewhere else. That'd be fun. Ladies and gentlemen, I think I'm getting ready to sign off here. I have a few more things to do before the end of the workday, but I do want to throw your attention to a few things here. We have Erica throwing out the link to the gaming channel GullGotha. Please make sure to subscribe. I think we're going to be playing some Dead by Daylight on Thursday, so please stop on by and check that out. And also, we are streaming on Friday, a really fun stream on here. Final Destination, we are ranking all of the kills. You will be able to vote. It's going to be like a live tier. We're going to make our own tier list live. It's going to be a lot of fun. So please stop on by and drop by that stream. Let's rank the kills, and you all get to pick them, which I think is really fun. So stop on by Friday for some of that. And also tomorrow we're going live playing some Dead by Daylight over on the gaming channel. Lots of fun stuff. Please subscribe. As always, don't forget to kill it out.